It was an evening like this one here. Blue sky, nice temperature, a bit windy. When we went out for dinner in that quiet and pleasant small town of Charlottesville in US state of Virginia, we went through the pedestrian area where that young woman was killed just 5 days earlier. There was a sea of flowers in bright colors, white, yellow, red. There were writings on the wall and on the street. There were small groups of people chatting and also mourning. And within that scene, I've seen something that I've never seen before in such a context. There was a therapy dog. One of these cute Labrador dogs was standing among the volunteers offering consolation and chats to the people walking around. One of these cute Labrador dogs with dark, melancholy eyes, with a beige fur. He was just standing there, looking attentively at the people. Without insistence or expectation, he was just there in case of need. And there, indeed, there were people who were like cuddling and hugging the dog. I was a bit shy, I just patted it a little bit. I'm anyway not such of a dog person. And I also had a bit the feeling that as a visitor to that place, to that community, I didn't really belong there, to that mourning community, as a visitor coming from outside. So welcome everybody to this beautiful new building, our workplace, the Berlin Institute of Medical Systems Biology. As you might have noticed, it's a bit secluded from the outside, as many research institutes are. It's the only day of the year we are open to the public. Usually we have like a lot of security measurements in place that nobody can enter. And this is also a bit how we scientists work. Also, we travel a lot to conferences. We travel to visit collaborators or so, but usually we spend our time in institutes like this or in fancy conference hotels. And although as citizens of Berlin, we of course know of poverty and social hardship, the drama and all the bad things in the world is something we read on the screens of our computers or smartphones. But that was a bit different on that trip in August 2017. It started as usual. I registered for a conference. I reached out to collaborators to visit them, also to make new acquaintances. As you perhaps know, science is a lot also about networking, as many other professions. So I was invited to that University of Charlottesville, University of Virginia in Charlottesville, to give a talk about my research on herpes simplex virus. Of course, I had to look up Charlottesville on Google Maps, like many of you perhaps also would have to. It's a small and pleasant town, about 80,000 inhabitants in the Green Hills of Virginia. It's a university town, so there are mostly like students and faculty living there. Looked very pleasant to me. But then it was August 2017. What happened in Charlottesville, Virginia, would soon cover the headlines all over the globe, and also here in Berlin, all the media would cover that story. Perhaps some of you remember what happened. There was a huge Nazi rally, thousands of right-wing extremists walking with torches on a Saturday through Charlottesville, and I was about to go there. And of course, when I told people I would go to Charlottesville, they would ask me, that Charlottesville that I just read on Spiegel Online or watch on TV? And even the employee at the check-in counter in the airport asked me, are you going to that Charlottesville? So off I went on a Wednesday, funnily I went to Charlottesville, Virginia via Charlotte in North Carolina. I arrived late in the evening, and the next day was planned full of talking and usually, you just go there. You have a lot of excitation by the change of scenery. You also are a bit jet-lagged, exhausted, and so on, but mostly excited. It was a bit different. Of course, we talked a lot about science, as this is usually done, but politics were equally prevalent in all the chats that I led. Because imagine, this is a small town where nothing bad ever happens, and then there was that shock of these thousands of Nazis walking with torches through that city. There was a helicopter that crashed, killing 2. And one of these right-wing extremists drove full speed with his car into a crowd, killing that young woman in the pedestrian area, where I then, 5 days later, encountered that therapy dog. Of course, coming from Berlin, where historically and still at present, there are a lot of Nazi rallies. What happened here in the 1930s, thousands of Nazis walking with torches through the city, was exactly mirrored in Charlottesville 80 years later. So people wanted to tap into that experience also and learn, what do we think, what do people in Germany think about such monstrous events, but also a lot of like swastika and Hitler salutes were shown. So I'm a Swiss citizen, and also as a scientist, you know, we have a bit this unconcerned neutrality towards society issues and the drama all over the world. We are not really concerned, we just watch it from the side. But on that trip to Charlottesville, I learned that we cannot withdraw from the things that happen in the world, from the bad things, also from the good things. As scientists and also as Swiss, we are part of this world. And what I also learned, there was this huge Nazi rally, this dreadful event. And what offered consolation to the local people who were so shocked and in awe by that was that cute, beige, furry Labrador dog.